Yo, what is up, guys? Jamie from Jamie's Detailing. Today we are doing an interior detail on this absolutely wrecked Toyota Highlander. Now, this guy drove all the way from Chicago, which is about 45 minutes from me, or 40 minutes or so from me, to get this detail today. So I want to go above and beyond to get this guy taken care of. Now, like I said, this car is pretty wrecked. I can tell right away it's a smoker's car, and on top of that, you can tell that this thing has probably never been detailed. Now, it was actually this the owner of this vehicle's son who actually works out this way and drove it out to me. So he actually is not going to be off work till 4 o'clock today, which means that I have about 6 hours, well, a little more than that, but I got about 7 hours to do this detail before he's going to be back. So I have a little bit of extra time today, so I want to take you guys through this entire detail from start to finish, starting with our inspection. So let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into it.
Like there was an egg car wanted a raise, so affirmed that he was a starter and they wouldn't give it to him. So there's like just a lot of skeletons in that closet, I would say.
Ooh, this car is wrecked. We have our work cut out for us today, boys. So the first thing that I always start off with any detail is the inspection form. It is super important to kind of document the condition of the vehicle when it first arrives. If you guys need inspection forms, I have them available at my website. And yeah, they're templates that you guys can edit, make them look like they're for your guys' business, put your own logo and name and all that kind of stuff on them. But you guys gotta have some kind of inspection forms for your guys' clients. That way you guys can document the condition of the vehicle. And clients love to see this kind of stuff when they first pull up. So make sure you guys do some type of inspection with your guys' client when you can, but always do an inspection no matter if the client signs off on it or not. First things first, guys, checking out all of our plastics. When we're looking at our plastics, the main thing that I'm looking for is damage to the plastics. And we have some damage to the plastics all around our handles. And we also have some damage to the plastics just from... that's about it. We got some damage to the handles, and other than that, it's just in really, really rough condition. There may be some marks on here, but nothing super crazy when it comes to the plastics. They're just super, super dirty. When it comes to our center console, it is pretty rough. It is extremely dirty. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting detail, guys, but this is going to be a transformation right here. And when it comes to our leather, the leather in the back seats is absolutely wrecked. The leather up front definitely has some wear on it. And all around the leather, I would say, is looking rough. Dash console, carpet and upholstery rips. We have some carpet and upholstery stains. Ouch. Vehicle odor. Smells like straight cigarettes in there. And pet hair is about as bad as it can get. Alright, so we're going to have to let the client know that we are going to need to charge just a little bit more for this particular detail. And then from there, we'll get started. Alright, let's do our video inspection. Starting with here. Got some wear on the doors here. Car is very, very rough condition. don't see a third row back there, but there could be one back underneath the seats. Under here is absolutely wrecked, guys. The floors. Oh, thank the Lord. We have a little bit of saving with that. All right. All right, we need to get a bucket of rinseless wash for this one. This one is in pretty rough condition, guys. Whew. Woo! Oh my goodness. Guys. So now that I have my inspection form, we are ready to dive into this detail. I'm going to be keeping this detail super simple as far as the chemicals. So right now I'm actually going to mix up a bucket of waterless wash, and I'm going to grab my Pink Perfection, and we're going to go ahead and get started on the plastics here in the vehicle. Ooh, we may have to clean this car a little bit differently than we normally do. So I always say it's great to have a process, but at the same time, you need to be flexible with your process. And the reason for that is because of cars like this. Now, cars like this, guys, this is a little bit beyond what I would see on the average basis, right? This car is full of cigarette ash. It is way dirtier than my average vehicle that I typically see, and when I come across things like that, I need to be a little bit flexible in my process. So for today, I am actually going to do an initial vacuum. Typically, I never do an initial vacuum because I think it's a waste of time. I usually save all of the carpeting and stuff like that for the very end of the process, but because this car is so full of cigarette ash, it's full of pet hair and everything else that it has on the floors, I'm actually going to see if I can get maybe half of that vacuumed up, just all the loose stuff that I can, especially the stuff all around the edges of the floor mats, and then from there we're going to get to our normal detailing process. Hopefully. Let's make sure we got a bag in here. Yes, sir. Alright guys, this car is wrecked. I really don't see cars this bad that often. We're gonna make the most out of it. My vacuum has never been clogged like that before. found a peanut. It is time to get on our plastics now. So I'm going to be starting with all of our door panels leading straight into the edge right here. And I'm actually going to save my center console for a few minutes for after I get all my doors done. Again, I'm just kind of adapting this detail just a little bit so it makes it a little bit more manageable. And I'm kind of chunking things off into a little bit more bite-sized pieces for myself, so it's a little bit easier to manage. So yeah, let's get it. And I'm actually going to save that blowout of the dash for just a second, so I can actually show you guys that process. Now, because this door is so bad, guys, and there's so much dirt and stuff all in these holes inside of these deep grooves and whatnot, I'm going to be busting out a big old carpet brush for today's detail, just in case I need it. It may make things a little bit easier for myself. Now for the doors, I'm going to go spray all the doors and let them start dwelling. Pink Perfection is super safe on all your plastics and it won't damage or hurt anything, especially at my favorite dilution ratio of 10:1. So I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff sprayed, and I'm using a very liberal amount on here, guys. You guys can see how much stuff is just melting off right here. And that is all that old cigarette nastiness. Which, if you guys smoke, I do not hold anything against you for doing what you want to do. But do not smoke in your car. It is just makes it really nasty. I'm even going to start soaking this dash, guys. This thing is bad. Like I said, guys, we're putting a liberal amount of this stuff on today. Liberal. You can't really use too much on a vehicle like this. Alright, getting back to our door. And I already used up an entire bottle of Pink Perfection on this car. Only a couple dollars, but this is a lot of dirtiness. Alright guys, like I said, I'm starting off with my brush. Just gonna make things a little bit quicker. Get all these big flat sections. Oh, wow. Alright, so now that we got this door all scrubbed up, and I'm actually going to scrub up the inner door panel here as well. Oh my god. This stuff is bad. Let's get this. I'm busting out a normal old sponge for this. Even the plastic, the rubber and everything on here just destroyed. Wow. Alright guys, we got this thing pretty much. We're going to have to keep rinsing out this rinseless wash bucket pretty much every door or two. All right. I just put all that right back on the floor right there, guys. So I don't want it in my rinse bucket. Down here. And I'm saving the dash for you. But normally from here, I'd go bam, right to the dash. Start knocking out this whole entire dash from left to right. Then I make my way back to this seat. Then I make my way back to the passenger side, then the passenger front. And then just kind of work my way around. But I am doing things a tiny bit differently for you guys today because we're filming. Alright. We're going to suck all that out, but I'm not happy about it. This door is absolutely flooded with cigarette nastiness. I'm going to do this for you guys so you can see what we're dealing with today. I don't know if you guys can see the color of that water. Woo! I gotta start charging a hazmat fee for this type of stuff. Yeah, that's burnt plastic in there. I was gonna try to clean that off, but that is burnt plastic. Alright. It's about as good as she is getting. That is crazy. Alright, quite the transformation. My goodness. I'm going to end up spending the most amount of time on the driver's section. So that's the first thing your client's going to see. So now that I got this door knocked out and I got this leading into the interior part knocked out, again, normally I would go straight to the dash and steering wheel at this point. But I want to knock out all the doors and then I'm going to take you guys through the dash. So just remember that. I've done process videos in the past, so if you guys want to check those out, you can. But again, be able to adapt to your process depending on the vehicle that you're working on at the time. And you can literally see this stuff just pouring out of there, guys, with the Pink Perfection. So I love Pink Perfection so much. It's a really, really good cleaner. But yeah, do not smoke in your car. Do not. Not worth it. I'm gonna grab my sponge, wring it out, and we're using the rough side. A little too much water on there, not gonna lie. Get that guy scrubbed. The bottom of these door cards, where all the chemical is collecting, literally looks like Coca-Cola. Let me show you guys this Coke we're gonna wring out here. Oh my God. That is disgusting. Jesus. Ooh. I do not want to put that back in my rinseless wash bucket. Oh my God. Might have to scrub down this door card one more time. This thing is bad. I should just take this rinseless wash and just fucking, because you can see the film on these windows. Just come back and clean them in a minute. Oh my God. Everything on this car needs to be scrubbed down, guys. This car is probably going to make it to my top 5 worst cars of the year. And it's only April, so that's a bold projection. I sprayed this with a little more chemical. Look at that. That is insane, guys. This is just my rinseless wash towel. Watch how quickly we can clean that up between the rinseless wash towel and our pink perfection. Just melts everything off. Still takes a second to wipe everything off. This is a lot of contamination, guys. The cigarette stuff is no joke to clean up. This is something else, guys. I'm trying to show you guys how dirty this car actually is. First off, I just filled this bucket right before I started this door. It's already this dirty, and I'm only halfway done cleaning the door, as you guys can see. Still got a lot of stuff to wipe up and all that. And I just went over it with this towel. So I'm going to dip this towel in here. You guys can see the amount of dirt rinsing off of that is just insane. I'm gonna have to mix myself up a new bucket. I've been mixing myself up a new bucket pretty much after every door, which is just crazy, guys. So let's go ahead and get this door all wiped up. Show you guys how I do this. We already got it all scrubbed down. So now I'm going over it with my rinseless wash to kind of rinse everything off. and it's gonna leave a little bit nicer of a finish on everything. And this is just I've been having to go over these doors like 2 or 3 times each. So this is my second time on this door. Just giving it another wipe down. I'm trying to rinse everything off of here. Not worried about the dog hair right now. Blow all that off in a second with a tornador. And we are still not completely clean. Pretty much there. So here we are on our very last door card right here, and I just wanted to bring you guys in close so you guys can see this. This is the inside of the door card, and we already soaked this thing with Pink Perfection earlier, and you guys can see how all the Pink Perfection actually went and broke down a ton of this dirt that's already on here, and it's even dried on the surface, and all this stuff is leaving these tiger stripes, if you will. But I'm not at all worried about that. Pink Perfection is a super safe interior cleaner, and even if it dries on the surface like this, you guys do not have to worry about it, because it's just such a safe cleaner to be using, and it really emulsifies, breaks down, and loosens up that dirt on the surface, and when it dries, it doesn't damage the surface. So I'm gonna finish cleaning this door real quick, and then I'm gonna bring you guys in close just to show you guys the before and after. But here, I'm going to go ahead and spray down this door just a tiny bit more with some Pink Perfection. We don't really need to go crazy since there's already dried Pink Perfection on the surface. Now I'm going to go ahead and come in with my rinseless wash brush. This is just a super cheap Chemical Guys boar's hair carpet brush. But we're using it today to get all of these door cards scrubbed down to where they need to be. So, we're just using this rinseless wash and Pink Perfection to really get these door cards scrubbed up. And you guys can see, just after the scrub even, how much cleaner the surface is over here compared to over here. So we're going to do that same thing over here with our big old boar's hair brush so we can get this done a little bit faster. But gonna try to get into all these nooks and crannies as best we can. Get into the holes of the speaker grill. And that. I'm going to switch it around. This has a fat end and a skinny end so that you guys can get into a little bit tighter spaces. Alright. So now that we got this door card, pretty much scrubbed up how we want. Now I have my rinseless wash towel here. I'm going to slang this guy open nice and big. Don't worry about it being folded or anything like that. And we're just going to go ahead and start wiping down this entire surface, making sure we're getting all these nooks and crannies and everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on with this and check in with you guys in just a minute. And you guys can just toss this guy down in here to soak up all of that nastiness. Looks like I forgot a few things in there. tooth flosser. Alright. And now we can bring this guy over here, wring it out as best we can, and then we can dip it back in our rinseless wash bucket. A little hard to wring out a towel one-handed. Come back over here, dip it, wring it out. And we're right back to rinsing. It's probably gonna take 2 or 3 rinses because of the type of stuff that was on this door. And you guys can obviously charge extra for cars like this. I would not do this type of vehicle for the same price that you're gonna clean a non-smoker's car for. Looking a little bit better, but we got one more wipe still. Moving straight into the door from there, guys. I'll lay down a little bit more pink perfection, because why not? And this car is already smelling night and day different. Still smells like cigarettes, but not as bad. I don't know if you guys just saw that IK bottle fall, but that is the one downside to these things. They are a little top heavy, and when your bottle's not completely full, they're definitely top heavy. But I still like them a lot so far. Not sure if I would like them more than the Solos, because I've never used the Solos. I'm getting a nice little transformation here, guys, but you know, as a detailer, it's always hard to be happy with the final results on a car like this, because it's just so rough, you know. You can never make these things look like a straight dime piece. Wet with some rinseless. I'm gonna blow it out a little bit so it's not so wet. And now we can use it to kind of dust this dash up a little bit, especially these areas. Fortunately, these cup holders don't come out. And they are rough. You gotta bust your pick out every once in a while. Alright, that took 3 times longer than normal just to clean this half of the dash. But we are done with the center console as well, so I guess that's a benefit. No joke, guys, 3 to 4 times longer than normal. So when I'm doing my steering wheel in this section of the dash, I always like to cover up all of the glass or all of the gauge cluster panels with some type of microfiber towel. That way I'm not directly spraying them with any type of chemical, and I really don't need to be too careful because we have everything that we need covered. All right. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but again, the Pink Perfection just melts everything off. All right, and for our steering wheel, guys, I always like to start our scrub with our rough side of our sponge. Especially on a vehicle like this. You guys can see this rough side of the sponge is really getting into this leather, getting it cleaned. And just to show you guys how dirty the water gets on these smoker cars, I've only cleaned the plastic so far, and I've already emptied this out 2 other times. So this is my 3rd bucket of water here. And this is the color. That is all the nasty stuff that you're washing out from the cigarettes. Now, normally on leather, I would be using this guy right here, which this is my Ryobi drill brush. It's super, super soft. The blue ones are. But today I'm going to be using this guy because we need the extra scrubbing power. Now, because these leather seats are so bad, we're going to hit them up with a steamer today. So at this point in the detail, I started to run a little short on time. So I stopped talking to the camera and really just focused on the work that needed to be completed. This is my smallest detail package, so we did not need to shampoo all the carpets, and this isn't a smoke removal detail. So we don't need to worry about having every single bit of that smoke odor out of the car. We really just want to manage our clients' expectations of having this car be significantly better than how it arrived. And I think we're easily going to be able to take care of them with the work that we kind of prioritized on this detail, which was really the plastics and the leather. So I'm doing a quick vacuum of the carpeting, then we're going to knock out the small salt stains on the driver's side of the vehicle, and then I am going to finish up all of the rubber floor mats. I'm gonna put them all in one plastic bag.
Holy shit.
Yeah, bro, it was a transformation to say the least.
Wow, man. Looks great. Holy shit.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, man, quite a transformation.
Wow.
But yeah, man, it worked out pretty good. So I'm just gonna kind of toss all his stuff in a bag for him. Yep.
Looks great. Cool. So then just send me the... Oh, there's some...
Yeah, I'll shoot you a little invoice. So this was a massive detail and quite a bit of work to get done in the time that we had allotted to us. This was a detail where I really only had a specific amount of time when the client was at work that I needed to have this thing done in, and it was a short day for him. We really only had about 6 hours to get this thing done, but by the time we were done getting this thing all cleaned up, I really think we were able to manage our client's expectations and really get this car smelling and looking a whole lot better than it did when it arrived. There is still a little bit of a smoke odor in this vehicle, but this was not a full smoke odor removal process or a smoke odor removal detail. The biggest thing was to really minimize that smell and to get all the plastics and leathers kind of re-cleaned and reset. And we ended up getting some really good results that I was really happy with, and so was my client. With that being said, guys, this was a massive detail and this was a massive edit for me to work on for you guys. So let me know how you guys ended up liking this format of video. Do you guys like typically shorter videos? I know a lot of you guys like shorter videos. Me personally, I'm a long video kind of guy, especially this kind of stuff. I like seeing people's full processes and seeing exactly how people do things. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a better taste of what it's like to do a detail with me, and I hope that you guys got a little bit of that today in today's video. But let me know how you guys like the format of this video. I like these long format kind of detail videos, but let me know how you guys like them, and if you guys do like them, I would definitely put more effort into getting more of these type of tutorials out to you guys in the future. And if you guys want to know more about some of the chemicals that I used in today's video, you guys can always check out jamiesdetailing.com/resources. Over there, we have a full document that you guys can download with all the different dilution ratios and off-label dilution ratios for all the chemicals that I use professionally. So make sure you go check out jamiesdetailing.com/resources. And that is pretty much all that I had for today's video. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. And a little word of advice for those of you still sticking around: do not touch your eyes when you guys are detailing a vehicle, otherwise you might get a sty like I did working on this car. This car was super dirty, and I have never gotten something like this working on a vehicle before, but apparently you can.